قال الوعد لا يغباش من الشعب Shimaka Kudash, the beloved to the apostles and elders of greatness, so now rule and teach well. Peace and salutations to the brothers on the four corners of the spirit, pushing this will in truth and in sincerity. I'm Madam Manat saying Shalom. So here we have an article, right, about, the scriptures talk about wars and rumors of wars. But this is a war, this isn't a rumor, there actually has been, missiles have been traded, you know what I mean? So, get straight into it. It's a Netanyahu declares orders Trump to strike Iran again. America is at war. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told Americans to accept that they are at war with Iran during an interview with Fox Business, saying that Donald Trump's strikes on Iran's nuclear weapons program would just the first phase of the war. Now, you understand, Trump didn't officially come out and say shit, but here we have the Prime Minister Israel being his mouthpiece. You know what I mean? And that is scriptural. It's the least of the flock, and we know that they are the least, that is the number. Amalek, right? But they have the greatest of influence over the rest of the nations of Edom, right? It's the one thing that we didn't deal with, and we know that we didn't deal with, was the enriched uranium that Netanyahu told Maria Batiromo. What we did once, we can do twice and thrice, he said, threatening Iran with further strikes. An anonymous senior Israeli official further underlined Netanyahu's comments, which were largely ignored in a statement to the media on Wednesday. The New York Times, some of Iran's enriched uranium survived attacks, Israeli officials says. Right? Say Israel has concluded that some of Iran's underground stockpile of near bomb grade enriched uranium survived American and Israeli attacks last month and may be accessible to Iranian nuclear engineers, according to a senior Israeli official. The senior official also said that Israel had begun moving toward military action against Iran late last year after seeing what the official described as a race to build a bomb as part of a secret Iranian project. The official spoke of condition Slovakia. The official spoke on condition of anonymity because of the sensitivity of the information. The official said Israel intelligence picked up the nuclear weapons activity soon after the Israel Air Force killed Hassan Nasrallah, the backed militia in Lebanon, or the Iran backed militia in Lebanon. The observation prompted the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to prepare for an attack with or without the US help. Alright, but yeah, what I say, alright. Even before that did happen, Iran warned them if they continue to thrash Gaza, they would step in. So do come and steal some Iran backed Salakia, Iranian backed militia thing. Even if they did, right? God showing you how they pretext the war. You understand? They prescribed it, right? They write it before time. It was all planned out, written before time, right? In a briefing for reporters on Wednesday evening, the senior Israeli official did not express concern about the assessment that uranium stored in casks, just knows like assessment that some of the stockpile of 60% enriched uranium stored in casks had survived the attack. The official and other Israelis, which accessed the country's intelligence findings, said any attempt by Iran to recover it would almost certainly be detected and there would be time to attack the facilities again. Western intelligence officials confirmed the Israeli assessment, saying that they believed much of the stockpile was buried under rubble in Iran's nuclear laboratory at Isfahan and potentially other sites. One of the officials concurred that the United States or Israel would know if the Iranians tried to retrieve the enriched uranium. Such a move, the official said, would surely invite a renewed Israeli bombing attack. Israel, the United States, and now a growing number of outside experts agree that all of Iran's working centrifuge, centrifuges at Natanz and Fordo, about 18,000 machines which spin were damaged or destroyed, probably beyond repair. The question they are now examining is how long it would take the Iranians to rebuild some or all of that capability, especially after the top scientists in their nuclear program. The senior Israeli official contends that no enriched uranium stockpiles were moved before the US strikes. The storage site at Isfahan, the official said, was too deep for even the most powerful American weapons to destroy. But the US attack on Isfahan did close off many entrances and appears to have wiped out laboratories that converted enriched uranium into a form that could be used in a weapon, and what would then fashion it into a metal that could be shaped into a missile warhead. But any effort to dig the fuel out from the rubble of Isfahan may be hard to hide from the satellite surveillance. The Israeli believes some additional stockpiles are still at Fordo and the two major enrichment sites where the fuel is produced. Both were struck by bunker busting bombs, and Israel has assessed that recovering those supplies would be too difficult. There is no reason these comments should be off, rec- o- off the record, other than because making them vocally in public could distract the rubes from Netanyahu nominating Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize while he's actively planning and plotting to expand the war. Yeah, because I mean, it's Nobel Peace Prize. Even though we know America, though, they will say one thing and do the fucking opposite. We know the Edomites are known for treachery. That's their main trait: treachery, cunningness. Right? They are hunters. They were good hunters. Right? That's what hunters use: cunningness, treachery. Right? The Trump administration has repeatedly insisted Iran's facilities were all destroyed, perhaps as an out to try to avoid participating in further strikes and a wider war. But Israel is preparing to drag Slovakia, preparing to drag us right back in, seeing as how Trump went along with this first round of strikes. Odds are he's going to go along with the second and the third round as well. Perhaps Trump can collect his Nobel while bombs are flying, right? So what they're saying is that Netanyahu, Trump most likely would, you know what I mean, assist Netanyahu because they are the military back in early for Israel. You understand? But yes, Israel has the military, but America is the, you know what I mean, a strong arm of defense. You know, them is the world police, self-proclaimed, right? I have about three precepts here. We go, let's get to it. Because I mean, the article is straightforward, it's self-explanatory, right? The Jeremiah 49 and 20. It said, therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh that he had taken against Edom and his purposes that he had purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Right? Teman as well. Teman is Germany. Right? It's have one in here too. I think it's 50. Um, let's bear with me 1 second. I think it's the same thing, but instead of Edom, we put Babylon. Now we know that America is known as Babylon through the scriptures as well. Let's bear with me 1 moment. Is in this chapter as well. Yeah, Jeremiah 50. It's therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he had taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Yeah, he'll use them to make their own desolation, their own habitation desolate. Right? Meaning to say what? They're going to start a war that they would not be able to end. They will not be victorious in it. Understand? It will end in their doom, in their demise. Right? And this is how it's going because why? Then Yahoo, you know what I mean? They poking the bear. Right? And when the bear retaliate, they run in and the no man getting the big brother. You know? And as a big brother, being a big brother myself, I have, you know what I mean? What's about carnal siblings? You know what I mean? Not just siblings at the spread. Right? You know when they call you, you go rush to the aid, rush to the defense. Along in the truth, you move more wise. But back in the day, you know what I mean? You're hasty. You're rushing the aid, don't touch my brother, don't touch my, you know what I mean? Nowadays, young whether you want to or not to defend your younger siblings, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know, they say the least of the flock go draw them out. You know what I mean? We'll go to the book of Isaiah now. Isaiah 13, 13 and 4. It says what? The noise of a multitude in the mountains like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts, muster it, the host of the battle. Yeah, he doing this. This is in accordance with his will. You know, this is how he bringing it together. You know what I mean? This is how he accomplishing it. The scriptures talk about as the dew fall from heaven, so is the word that go forth, and it will not return unto him void. Roughly paraphrasing. I believe that in the book of Isaiah. Alright? Now let me go to the book of Joel. Where it written in you know what I mean, plain to see. Joel 3:11. Right? It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. You understand? Yeah. He said, come all ye heathen and gather yourselves together round about. You know? Gather all yourselves, all your must up, all organize all yourself, and everybody must start at that point. The valley of Jehoshaphat. Joseph, I mean, what? Yahweh's judgment, right? And that is where he will deal with all them. That is where the third will come into play as well. So we see that, hey, regardless of what, it is inevitable. Though it tarry wait on it, it is here, right? So that hope was informative, you know what I mean? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, Bashem Kakodash. Until next time, Shalom.